Alright, let's roll. Imagine this as a kind of behind-the-scenes director's commentary, with me pacing around a dimly lit studio full of screens showing rockets, code, and, of course, social media dashboards. So I look straight into the camera and say, people think launching rockets is tough, but try launching a global social media platform while the entire planet argues about what letters of the alphabet belong to whom. It's almost funny. Almost. So picture this. I'm in a conference room with an absurd number of lawyers. The kind of room where everyone whispers like they're guarding nuclear codes. And someone slides a stack of documents across the table and says, "We might have a trademark situation." And I'm thinking, of course we do, because nothing says innovation like legal turbulence. So I tell them, alright, walk me through it. And suddenly I'm listening to a discussion about whether the most basic shapes, letters, or vaguely bird-like silhouettes can ignite a global branding battle. Which, apparently, yes, they can, because humans have a long and storied history of arguing about things you learned in kindergarten. And I sort of lean back and go, okay, so what's the solution? And the lawyers all look at me the way people look at a cat that's about to knock something off a table. Like they already know I'm gonna make a choice that triggers 100 news cycles. And I say, let's simplify, let's streamline, let's make this bold. And before you know it, we're in meetings about fonts, about symbols, about regulatory filings in places I didn't even know had alphabets. And all the while I'm hearing commentary from the internet, as if the internet is a single, extremely loud roommate with 200 million opinions, saying things like, "This will never work," or "This is genius," or "Elon has finally lost it," which honestly might be true depending on whether I've had coffee that morning. So anyway, we roll out the rebrand and instantly, it's a tempest. Headlines everywhere, threads, posts, debates, lawyers reaching out from other galaxies. I mean, I half expected aliens to send a cease and desist saying we infringed on some interstellar glyph. And I'm in the middle of it thinking, well, this is what disruption looks like. And then, of course, comes the classic trademark tango, the dance, the paperwork, the filings, the letters that always start with, "We respectfully assert," which is legal speak for, we're about to argue for 14 pages, and I'm reviewing all this while also juggling rockets, cars, robots, AI, and wondering why no one warned me that owning a social platform comes with enough litigation to wallpaper a small moon. And at one point, I just stop and tell the team, look, the mission is clarity, simplicity, and freedom to innovate. We aren't here to fight over hieroglyphics, we're here to build. And that becomes the mantra as we navigate hearings and consultations and more meetings than there are atoms in a grain of sand. And slowly, gradually, in the way tectonic plates eventually move continents, the storm settles and I realize something. The world will always debate the surfaces of things, but progress happens underneath, silently, through engineers building features at 3 a.m., designers refining interfaces pixel by pixel, users shaping the culture in real time. That's the real battle. Not the trademark filings, not the headlines, not the noise, but the actual evolution of human communication. So, in the end, I look back at the chaos and shrug and say, well, that was fun. Because at some point, you just have to appreciate the absurdity of the universe, the way you can build neural networks and land rockets on ocean barges, but still spend half a year negotiating about the letter X. And I guess that's the story. The whole wild, ridiculous, oddly inspiring ride, told from my perspective, as someone who keeps trying to push things forward even when the paperwork tries to pull them backward. So, here we are again. Lights back on, cameras rolling, and I'm standing in front of this giant holographic interface that keeps flickering between analytics, orbital trajectories, and way too many legal memos, and I say, alright, buckle up, because the trademark saga didn't end, it just evolved, and suddenly I'm back in another meeting, the kind where everyone brings laptops, but no one actually opens them because they're all waiting for me to drop some supposedly unhinged decision. And one of the attorneys says, with a level of seriousness usually reserved for asteroid impact briefings, we've received new correspondence. And I'm thinking, of course we have. Because once you poke the sleeping dragon of intellectual property, everyone wakes up with torches, so they hand me this document with enough footnotes to qualify as a novella, and as I skim it, I can't help laughing because I've built reusable rockets that land themselves. And yet, here I am reading about how symbols used since ancient civilizations might be confusingly similar. And I look up and say, you know what's confusingly similar? Every single legal letter ever written. But the lawyers don't laugh because lawyers are physically incapable of laughing during litigation. So we get to strategizing again, deciding what's worth defending, what's worth pushing forward, and I'm thinking about the philosophy behind all this. The idea that progress is always a negotiation between the bold move and the boundary line. So I tell them, we're not here to fight everyone. We're here to build something that outlives the chaos. And then comes the wave of public commentary. People posting theories, conspiracies, memes, more memes, so many memes. And somehow a debate about trademark law mutates into global entertainment. And I realize that social media is basically a giant arena where every decision echoes like someone dropped a microphone in a cave. And speaking of microphones, I find myself doing interviews where people ask, so what's next for the platform? And instead of talking about legal firestorms, I talk about features, creators, connectivity, because that's where the energy should be, not in the paperwork, but behind the scenes. The paperwork is still trying to arm wrestle us, so we keep iterating, keep refining, keep pushing. And meanwhile, there's another meeting, yes, another one, where someone explains that a certain jurisdiction wants clarification on whether our brand symbol could be misinterpreted as a warning sign. And at that point I'm thinking, why not? Everything else has been on the table. But I stay calm, sip some coffee, and say, let's just give them the explanation, unless they want us to personally redefine the alphabet. And again, no one laughs, which is becoming a theme. So the days go on, the filings go through, the challenges get responses, the noise starts fading into background static, and I finally get a moment to breathe, standing on a balcony overlooking a line of prototypes, cars, drones, robots, all buzzing quietly. And I realize this is the real point. Everything worthwhile exists because someone was willing to withstand the ridiculous parts of the process. And trust me, trademark battles are definitely the ridiculous parts. So I shrug, glance at the latest notification storm on my phone, and say to myself, well, if the universe insists on giving me side quests, I might as well speedrun them. And that essentially is where part 2 leaves us. Still moving, still building, still navigating the cosmic comedy that happens when innovation collides with bureaucracy, and still refusing to slow down just because someone somewhere thinks they own a particular shape of letter floating around